Toby, and I hope that you are all going to gain value from here. Just as Toby says that AI is, I mean, is something that is non-negotiable now. Anything you are doing now, you need to find a way to add AI stuff to it. That's why when I thought of doing a DBA, the next thing I thought of was to do DBA in AI and machine learning, because that's where the world is going, and we are just entering into it. Like, we are just scratching the surface of it. There's a whole lot going on, a whole lot of funding going on. And so if you are an educationist, you are a student, you are born in an age where you can't but just do things the way things are being done anymore. There are a lot of tools that are out there. There are a lot of things that is going to make your life easier. There are a lot of things that makes your life smarter. As a fact, for me, whenever people ask me, do you know this? I don't tell them I don't know it. I tell you I know it. Why? Because I just have AI. I can really overnight or in the next 2-3 days, he can build a plan for me on how to know that thing, build a plan for me on how to get a foundational knowledge, build a plan for me on how to, do anything, use it for interviews and all of that. You can just tell it, hey, just behave like you are the director of this thing and stuff like that. Give it the questions, the job descriptions and all of that. So there is a whole lot that is going on and a whole lot of things that AI is being used for, supporting with building curriculum, and all of that, creating AI assistants that you can chat with, that he can respond to you more like your lecturer. These days, in the advanced world, lecturers are beginning to build AI assistants that they will feed with their ideology, feed with their notes, feed with their publication, and students can use that AI assistant to ask it question and it will respond to you like your lecturer. Okay, so that saves the lecturer a lot of time, where, of course, he still wants human interaction, but if you just want to know what he would think regarding this subject matter as an expert, you can use his GPT, use his bot or whatever has been created, or a gem on Google Gemini, and it will respond to you. I'm just saying that this is the world where we are today, where there's a lot of infusion of AI into different sectors, customizing and designing personalized learning structure for you and all of that. So you don't have to be left behind. You need to embrace it. I think that's where I'll start from, because my strength is a lot on adoption, is to tell you that you need to embrace it. If you don't embrace it, you leave it in the next 2-3 years, you might be left far behind. It's just like the date of digital marketing when it came. People were, how will I sell on Facebook? How will I get business on Facebook? But trust me, people that have built that platform before now and are really learning it, they are cashing out from it and still cashing out from it and building a serious audience. These days, even content marketing or content creation is now a full-time business that people are looking into, right? So AI is no longer just a tool for answering questions. If that's all you know today, hopefully you learn much more and you go deeper. It's not just for asking questions. Like, all people know about AI is ChatGPT. It's far, far more than that. The world has moved. It's a collaborative partner for you synthesizing your knowledge and also automating complex research workflow. As a matter of fact, there are autonomous agents that are being created in this age now, where without human interference at all, it can conduct everything for you, do everything without no human interference. To the extent that even in engineering field like manufacturing and others, you have autonomous agents that can schedule maintenance, notify them about maintenance, trigger maintenance email to people that needs to come and do it, provide them with everything. Like, you can automate the entire process. As much as industrial stuff are complex from A to Z with an autonomous agent without a human touching it. It's a big problem for us because it means that literally jobs are going to be taken off. But the good thing is that as jobs are being taken off, jobs are being created also. So you need to position yourself in the age where we are. So we look deeply on how you can leverage it for academic excellence. So the academic landscape shift, a lot of shifts is going on currently there, from search to, a lot of theses around it. You know, traditional research relying more on manual keyword searches and hours of fragmented reading to locate data. In fact, before now, during my own time while doing research, I have to go to the library. I go to the library, you know, you look for a whole lot of previous students that possibly have worked on that research, and then, you know, search online and use Google. It was just, you know, somehow then, but I think things have really, really, really changed currently. In 2026, you know, the landscape has changed. In fact, it has introduced what we call even agentic AI, you know, capabilities of executing multi-step research and tasks autonomously, meaning that people are creating agents these days using Zapier, Anything, and different other ones, you know, that can perform, you know, writing a paper as an expert or do a lot of autonomous research without then even doing anything. It will go there to look for the paper, it will come to rewrite, it will edit himself, it will proofread himself, you know, it can even submit it himself for publication and all of that. So a lot is changing. That's to tell you how much things have advanced when it comes to research, and it comes to academic research these days in the age of AI. So success now depends entirely on AI literacy. So people talk about financial literacy, which is important, that you need money to survive. But we are in an age where AI literacy is also a big thing. You need AI knowledge to survive in your industry. You need AI knowledge to survive and do well as a student. It can help you become a better student. My brother shared about the way he used it. I think somebody will share more about the ethical use and all of that. But what AI is meant to do literally is to augment, you know, when it comes to the academic sector. And in the world of adoption, we have something we call, are these things to be automated? Because not all tasks are meant to be automated. And based on the EU AI Act law, education is one of the high risk areas. As a matter of fact, there are certain things you want to do under education that the EU expects that you go through them, get submit a request, get approvals, and the human loop element is very, very important when it comes to the educational sector. Why? Because the educational sector requires a lot of creativity. And we believe that for this sector, AI is not just here to replace, you know, it's here to augment. We're not expecting that AI will replace lecturers so and say, oh, we don't need lecturers anymore. We'll begin to hire robots and all of that. Well, there are a lot of conversations around those. But in this sector, what it's meant to do is to augment, meaning that, you know, it supports you, you understand which are some of the places that requires creativity, and which are the taxes that the kind of tax that possibly they are repetitive tax. There are a lot of manual tax, and then you can start thinking of automating some of those tasks. And then the ones that requires a lot of human thinking, you know, that requires a bit of creativity, you want to not automate it so much so that it can still bring originality also to the work. So AI literacy is an important thing. You need to live here with a desire to become AI illiterate. It is changing fast, so you need to keep up with things. But what I tell people is that when it comes to AI, don't focus too much on even the tools. Focus too much on the principles. Focus so much on the goal. Focus so much on what do you want to achieve and what kind of architecture or system can you build to achieve that. Because today is Anything popular for creating AI agents, Zapier and all of that. Next tomorrow is something else. We recently have the likes of Go High Level that people are also using to do a lot of automation, which looks simpler and easier to use than even Anything. So things are changing very fast, very fast. So the best thing you want to do is not just tools, learn tools, but understand the system. How does AI work? How does an agent work? What are the principles? What are the ethics? What are the frameworks? What are the architecture that I need to design to be able to make this work for me? Very important. So the ability to co-pilot with tools, while maintaining critical thinking. That's what I said. It should not replace your thinking entirely. You want to write, you need to sit down and think. There should be a thinking element that involves your research, understanding what exactly you want to do, what you need to achieve with it, what kind of methodology do you want to use. Then you use AI, to augment your research, to broaden your research and help you see what has been done before, make suggestions to you. But you, at the end of the day, should be the human element to make some strategic decisions also, based on what you want to achieve. Okay, the skill set of the 21st century researcher. I said one is AI literacy, understanding how AI system function at a fundamental level. All right, understand how does this system function? How does Claude, GPT, and others work? Have you thought of it? How do they generate that? You see, the advent of AI has been before now. The last 3, 4, 5 years, what we have had has been the evolution of generative AI. Generative AI, because now humans, we can all use it. Anybody can use it. But before now, we have more of AI being leveraged on at an advanced level in machine learning and others, where we cannot just use it generatively to, just recreate things and others based on trained data. Companies use that, and it's expensive. But now we have companies that have invested into it. We have the likes of Claude, GPT, Manus AI. If you look at those things, the people that are on top of these are people that they have crazy money and they have crazy data, because it's about data. Generative AI just simply means that the ability of it that this is what you want, it can map it based on numbers and able to say that this is it, and create similar things, recreate things based on the input that you have given to it. Meaning that you give it an input to say, this is this picture. I want you to create a picture like this. It is generative. It is leveraging on that particular input and mapping them based on numbers and data to be able to say, okay, let's create something similar to this. But before now, AI has been used in many, the place of personalization, suggesting, recommendation, as you see even before now in Netflix and different other ones. It is the power of machine learning. Predictions and others are the power of machine learning. But now we're looking at things more from generative AI, where it is the trend where things are beginning to go, and we're beginning to use them in our daily life. It's very powerful. So AI literacy is critical. Or just understand the basics of it. Prompt engineering, you want to understand that. Prompt engineering is critical because everything now is about prompts. As a matter of fact, you can become a developer, know how to use SQL and others without you you just need to understand the fundamentals of it. Without even you being a pro, you can do so much by just understanding the basics. You just need to prompt. The quality of results that you get in anything you do when it comes to generative AI, it's about prompt engineering. And, prompt engineering, you want to tell it to assume a role. You are an engineer, you are an educator, you are a researcher. When you say you are a researcher, when you now say you are an engineering researcher or a scientific researcher or whatever research you are trying to do, it made it condition himself to say, this is where this is my role. This is what I'm assuming as. Then you give it a context. Give it a context, then give it a task. This is the task I want you to perform. Let it know the outcome that you want. You want it in a Word document. You want it in a code. You want it not more than 500 words. You want it to give to you in a question and answer section and all of that. These are some of the ways you can use to make your prompt better and write better prompt. The science of it is, asking the right and rigorous questions. Use it over and over again, tweak it around, assume the role that you are teaching a young apprentice or something, and you are trying to give it instructions as much as possible, broken down so that it can understand. The more explicit you are and the more clearer you are, the better you can get your results. All right. Prompt engineering is a skill that you want to understand. It is not hard. It's like just talking to your normal friend or normal machines telling it what to do. But you need to be explicit. Let it know the role. Let it know the context. Let it know the task. Let it know the output, what you expect from it at the end of the day. Right. So another one is AI human collaboration. This is critical. In educational sector, I spoke earlier about the EU AI Act law. One critical element is the human element collaboration, because educational sector is regarded to as a high risk sector because of the influence it can have on learning in the next generation and in research and all of that. So it's regarded to as high risk. And one of the way to manage that risk is human loop or human element interaction. It means that you are utilizing AI as a co-researcher, not as a replacement. You are not replacing yourself. You are not replacing you doing the research. What you're trying to do is that you are collaborating with AI. You are leveraging on technology to ensure that you are able to get the right result at the end of the day. You are leveraging on AI as a co-researcher with you. Just look at it that when you are writing a research paper, you have other scientists that are contributing with you, other researchers that are working with you on. You all contribute together, make input and discuss. Look at AI that way. You can even, sometimes I've given idea to it, I'll tell it, critique it. Let me know, is this right? Is it wrong? Let me know your thoughts. All right. So I'm not trying to use it to replace my thinking in a way, but I'm seeing it as a co-researcher, as a co-collaborator with me. If I'm a salesman, for example, I'm trying to sell, I use it as a co-salesman, let me use that word, where I talk to it. Can you tell me what are some of the key things I can tell this person to buy this product? What are some of the key things? How should I start the conversation and all of that? The same way you can use it for your research is a co-researcher for you while you're trying to, the assignment that is being given to you, you don't need to use it to just completely do, because you won't learn and build your capacity at the end of the day. But question it, ask it question. Why is this it? Why is this? Even if you prompt it and it gives you the response, you want to ensure, because AI can also make mistake, right? You want to ensure that it is right. Tell it to critique it. Ask it, why did you give this as the answer? Why did you use this suggestion? Why did you use this example for me? All right. So those are the ways that you work with it as a co-researcher, as a co-collaborator, and it will help you to get more better results. In fact, research has shown that the first result you get from your prompt are usually not the best results that you can get. The more you go through, the more you reprompt it, the more you ask it more questions, the more you critique it, the more you streamline the research and say, I want you to tailor it towards this, tailor it towards this. The more knowledge base that you can give to it, the better it is. Knowledge base simply means that, let's say you have worked on certain research before, and you have previous research that possibly you have published, and you can say, okay, I want you to mirror these research papers or so that I can understand how you write and, how you possibly want to respond to things or the things you are interested in, so that in its own way of writing or co-researching with you, he can think more like you also and have things a little bit tailored towards that dimension. What I'm trying to say in essence is that AI human collaboration is key. Don't use it to replace yourself. What you need to do is to collaborate with it. Use it as a collaborator, and it will help you to become a better academic person, either as a student or you're a lecturer or whatever you are doing. It will help you to stand out in whatever you're doing. AI literacy, prompt engineering, and human collaboration are three key sets that you have to master and work with in order to leverage on it properly for excellence. All right. So why AI assists in tenses, the human academic provides the original texts. All right. I spoke about knowledge base. All right. The transparent methodology, and also final validation. Let AI not have the final validation. You have to still go through and look at it and see if any changes needs to be made, anything needs to be corrected, any jargons that is there that needs to be removed. So you have the final validation at the end of the day. In the corporate world where I work, not in the academia, when we look at implementing AI, especially in heavy regulated industry, you can't afford to have AI to have the final validation at the end of the day. I share an example with you. I was working on a project at the time, and the project involved using AI to actually, in recruitment process. And if you read the EU AI Act law, it's something that is among the high risks. Why? Because there's a lot of bias. How do you tell that AI should just pick the right candidates, and at the end of the day, it will not be biased? It could choose based on certain things. Now, we wanted to, the unit said, let's feed it with information. But the problem is that if you feed it with information, it ends up choosing the kind of people that previously have been chosen for that role or have been employed from that organization. That makes it to become biased. All right, that limits it. So it's a problem. And one of the things I advised then when we started, I said, if you want to use it just to augment for now. And what I advise is that leverage on AI, let it look for the keywords from that CV, and give and point you to CVs that has a lot of those keywords. First level, if it's comfortable, then we can use it for scoring and say, based on the keywords of the job, and based on the keywords of the job, and also on your CV, let the AI rank based and give a score to the CV so that you can understand that, and then you can pick top 20 or top 30 based on that score. But that is second phase. What I'm trying to say here is ethics. What I'm trying to say here is ensuring that there is that human loop element, so that at the end of the day, we avoid bias. Eventually, that's just a practical industry explanation that is being used for, and you can leverage that also when it comes to academia, seeing it as a co-researcher and as a co-planner also with you. Let's look at this the transformation of academic workflow that I did put together, saying that reduction in manual data collection time through agentic workflows. So the whole idea of AI agent, I keep saying, is that it's not replacing you from thinking another thought, but it can replace a lot of manual work. In fact, you can create demo data that you can use for research and all of that through AI and all. You can make things go very fast. You can use AI for review. You can use AI for proofreading. You can use AI to make sure that your citation is done rightly. You can use AI to check some sources to be sure that, especially things like Manus AI, can use that to say, okay, can it, is this source correct, and all of those things. All right, so let's look at the traditional part here, where you have the idea, you go through the literature review, and then you talk about the research, the writing start, and the editing. This is measured in literally months a lot of the time. But here, we have an orchestrated part here where you have the idea, AI assisted discovery, in discovering that for you by providing it with prior information on some of the research you want to do or the assignment or what you're looking at. AI supported thesis, and then human analysis. Before it's done, the human analysis element is there, where you look at things in life to be sure that it's fine, and then AI writing assistant can write for you at the end of the day, based on your analysis, what you fed with, some knowledge sources that possibly you provided for it. And then AI refinement, AI can write, you can go through, AI can also help with reviewing, proofreading, and refining for you. Things like Grammarly and others can also be used, and many other, literally almost any AI platform also like ChatGPT and others could be used also to go through to proofread and also refine it. This can actually be measured in days or hour. Within a day, if you sit down, you can get this together. NotebookLM is another one. Google NotebookLM. Within a day, you can write an amazing paper and all of that. Putting your thought together and all that. Taking sources from different places so that you are not just leveraging on just Claude alone to write or something like that. But you do your research to look for the papers, put the sources together. They can be up to 10 sources. 5 sources related to the things you want, the paper or whatsoever assignment you are trying to do. You put your own view, and at the end of the day, and you prompt it, it will come out with some things for you with the necessary. This can take just within hours and all of that. All right. So takeaway here is that AI does not replace thinking. I said that let it not replace your thinking. This is one of the things that makes us unique, that we are different from robots, are different from machines, is the fact that there is that element of us where we can think deeply, think. Well, I know there are autonomous agents that are coming these days, but however, even in their thinking is based on what we tell them to do, what we tell them to do, what steps we have created, what orchestration layer we've been able to put together to enable them to take action. All right. So it amplifies intellectual productivity. Okay. So let's look at some AI tool stack for academia. For some of the sections today is to broaden your knowledge and increase your hunger. You go back to sit down to make a lot of research. Some tool stock that I feel that when you are in the academic industry that you possibly need to play around with. I'll need to say also that no single tool does everything. That's just the truth. No single tool does everything. Academic excellence requires orchestrating a tailored ecosystem, meaning that you cannot just use one to possibly, this can help with this, but there are other tools that possibly you can use together to get something better at the end of the day. When it comes to research, for me, NotebookLM is a very good one. I use it a lot. If there is time, maybe I could open a tab for you to see, but NotebookLM is something else that you can use. And basically, you pull in your source and bring it together. You can create your guide. You can create your presentation. You can create quizzes. You can create infographics. In fact, you can even create videos using NotebookLM. All right. And the good thing about it, why I said is good for research, is the fact that you can do it in such a way that it is not pulling information from just from web. It pulls information based on the sources that you provided to it. Meaning that you can download 10 research papers or 5 or something related to what you want to work on. And you tell it that this paper you want it to write or work on, it should be based on these sources alone. All right. And then it will be able to go through them, synthesize them, and pull out something for you eventually. Perplexity is one, very good for research, similar to some of these LLM, but it's known for research a lot, and at least it is also there. In terms of writing and editing, Claude is good. Claude is good. I've used GPT, I've used Claude, but yeah, Claude has some unique way of reasoning. If I want to work on CV, I want to work on my CV, cover letter or something, I prefer to use Claude. It has a way of reasoning deeply and coming up with content. When it comes to writing, I think I'll most likely tend towards that. But GPT is also good, also very nice, And the thing with GPT also is the fact that because it has Dale also in it also, you can actually also create some images, create some images also in GPT. If you're not using the paid one, it might have limitation on the number, but you can use it to create some few graphics and images and all of that. And just to add to that also, when you comes to you wanting to create images, infographics, architectural system diagrams that you want to add to your stuff, Things like Nano Banana, I didn't add it here, but Nano Banana is something else. It's a wizard when it comes to creating things related to visuals and all of that. The good thing about Gemini is the fact that it is more modern, means that, you know, when it comes to things around visuals and all of that, you give it to Gemini. All right, you give it to Gemini. So you can leverage on that. So that can also be here. I think Gemini can also be used for writing, but as I said, for my writing, I tend towards these ones and all of that. But when it comes to designing infographics, designs, architectural diagrams, wireframes and others to add to whatever I'm doing, Nano Banana can do well for you. Grammarly is there. You can use it to do a lot of proofreading and editing also. AI agent like Manus AI can really be of help to you. What Manus does, and the unique thing of Manus has been around but not too long, so you can introduce yourself to read also. I think it's owned by Meta. And the good thing about Manus is the fact that it's more like an agent, meaning that you can tell Manus, I want you to go to YouTube, yeah, pull sources from there related to whatsoever, all right, and create, you know, this for me or something. You can literally tell it, maybe, you know, name of a channel, certain things it can go to, the kind of video you should go and search for. For Manus is more like an agent beyond just, you know, like an LNA says, an agent. It can perform tasks for you, not just one task. You can tell it, I want you to go here, take this, pull this, convert it to this, and create this for me. Literally. You can tell Manus, I have this task. I want you to go to this website. I'll go here, do this. I want you to create it in text. Then I want you to convert it also to a presentation. You can do all that together within Manus. So it's more like an agent himself. And it can be very useful to you as a researcher because it can do multi-tasks. It's not just writing like GPT and all of that. It can fetch in certain information from certain places and synthesize things for you, give you output based on what you also want. Okay, so Jen is there, but Manus is a very good one to look at. Presentation and knowledge, Gamma is there. Gamma can really help you. In fact, even PowerPoint can be used now. You know, if you use some of the paid ones for the organizational one, you can prompt it and it can literally fill all the slides for you with the kind of designs that you want. But Gamma is there. Gamma is a nice one. Notion AI can also be used for your presentation, but Gamma is very nice. And NotebookLM also can also help you with that, because I also do design a lot of slides also from NotebookLM. Okay, and I like the thoughts it put. I mean, when it comes to visuals, I think we give it to Google on what they have been doing thus far in this industry. Right, the strategic goal is moving from simply chatting with one tool to orchestrating multiple tools to achieve your results at the end of the day. Okay, so NotebookLM as a personalized brain, I did mention that earlier. Primary academic superpower, grounding, and safe tenses. So, you know, it can source grounded knowledge for you. So I said you can upload up to 50 sources, PDF, transcript. In fact, you can add YouTube videos on NotebookLM. You can upload, you can copy the link of the paper from wherever it is. You can upload a test, or possibly if you have the download of that paper, you know, you can add that. You can add a link to a YouTube video, just different sources, and then it builds a private knowledge base that you can use to answer questions from the document. All right, and this helps in eliminating hallucinations, because you are not giving AI to just use anything it can find anywhere from the web. What you are trying to do basically is to say, hey, I want you to pull from these sources. What we do in the corporate world when we are creating a chatbot or some element, and it involves knowledge base, is that, for example, I did work on a project where it involves creating a chatbot for that for an organization that will help them to answer questions. So questions that people go to ask HR a lot of times. How many weeks paternity leave do I have? How many weeks leave do I have? This and that. You know, simple questions about policies and other within the organization. And HRs have to be fixing meetings with you and stay in meeting to hear what is not necessary. So like, okay, let's create a chatbot that answers a lot of the frequently asked questions. And this involves working with the HR team to provide the questions and all of that. And then we trained the chatbot, instead of it pulling its answer from the web, it pulls its answer from the knowledge base that we provided to it. Meaning that the knowledge base can be, if you are using things like custom Copilot Studio, for example, you know, you can add your knowledge base in PDF, or it can pull it from the storage online, and then it answers information from there. That brings to the thing you heard about, things like RAG, retrieval augmented, whereby instead of it just responding to customers or responding to things based on what it can find on web, to provide it with a link to either an ERP or any of these systems where you embed them, and what it does is that it pulls this information up from there. What I'm trying to say here in essence is that you can provide your source-grounded information knowledge base that NotebookLM can pull answers from, rather than providing generic answers that it creates. It makes it unique, and whatever you are doing unique. All right. Verifiable citations. Every response includes direct link, all right, to specific pages. And that's one thing you can find in NotebookLM. So you can verify where it cited it from the sources. Okay. Modal study 8, as I said earlier, Google are very great when it comes to visual. So generate targeted quizzes, as I said, study guides, you know, about 10-minute AI audio can be created. You know, it's interesting. Like, you can create a paper, you can decide to create a summarized 10 minutes audio of it and share with people to listen. You can even create a video of it for about 8 minutes or nearly 10 minutes too also, but the video are more of like video that it uses, you know, both your slide and then audio voice under, and that accelerates a whole lot of things for you. But what is changing? Manus AI for autonomous execution, I did mention that. I just speak of you that you can use. I use it a lot. Primary academic superpower, execution, and wide research. Some of the things there is the fact that top tier performance, you know, it's benchmark this for there, and then complex reasoning system there, and multi-step task execution, really. So it can do a lot for you. I think I did explain that already. Autonomous scoping automatically finds, categorizes, summarizes the top cited papers in any feed to identify the gaps. That's amazing. That's how far it goes. It can research and pull the papers for you. Let's imagine you can use Manus AI, pull in all the papers for you, link to them. You can decide to download them or copy the link and bring them to places like NotebookLM that will now synthesize things for you and rewrite a paper for you just based on those sources. Complex data analysis, all right? So you can process raw data sets to generate interactive dashboard and statistical trend. Then you can build dashboard using Manus AI. Actually, you can build dashboard and then you can decide that you want to host it with your unique link, or you can use their link like that. They publish it and you can share the link also directly with people to see from your research. It's amazing. You can build a dashboard based on that, and then publish it and share it with people to read. You know, if you want to host it, then you can go. If you don't want to host it, you can use their free link there. Just publish the link and make it available for people to access. Okay. You know, output ready results. You know, it can deliver clean formatted Markdown tables, Excel file. You can tell it, I want you to give this to me in Excel. That's the sweet thing also about Manus. I want it in Excel file. I want it chat ready for publication and inclusion. All right. So you remember one of the things about AI said is prompting, and it's about information you provide to read, instruction you give to read, and what exactly you are looking at. I mentioned Claude also, and I told you that as the augmented partner. You can use it a whole lot. It's super powerful reasoning and style. So capable of ingesting entire books of this dissertation for deep cross-chapter structural analysis, superior logical reasoning. I give it to Claude for that. Nuanced academic writing for writing, yes, it's amazing. And so you can actually leverage on that. I know some of you are already using that, so I'm not going to spending so much time on those ones. So in terms of you elevating research writing through AI assistant, I mentioned earlier that you can build an AI assistant that you can use to do something. One of the free ones you can try is something called Gemini Gem, or it's just like both. The way you have GPT, as they said in ChatGPT, in Gemini they call it Gem, and you can create it even with your free Google account. Just search for Gemini or Gem Manager. You go there, you can create a bot, train it, provide it with certain papers or certain knowledge base that you want based on what you're doing. I give you a practical example. One of the ones I've done recently was, as a project manager managing different kind of project, one of the things I need to do every week, I need to write report to the management, and sometimes I do 1-2 reports in a week. I felt like, okay, it takes me a lot of time to put all the different stuff, rough notes I've gathered all over together, and then used it. So I created a bot. What I do there, what that bot helps me to do is to tell you that I want you to create this thing for me as a report. And at the end of the report, based on my rough note, categorize this thing into an overview, what have been achieved for the week, what we are blocked with, what is in progress, what we are planning to do next, and what are our next steps. All right. So instead of me always going through and be thinking, should I put this one on that next step? Should I put this one? I already built a bot with specific instruction on what to do. Part of the knowledge base of it is that the previous ones I've done before, like 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, I fed them into the knowledge base so that it can mirror the knowledge base and provide my output for me. All right. You can try that out with a Google Gem and create something free, feed it its knowledge base, give it certain instructions, the instruction, which is the prompt I said. And in the prompt, I told it, I said, do not assume anything. Do not add anything that is not in the note I have given to you. I was straight with my instruction. Don't assume. Don't put something that is not in this note that I've given to you. And I told it in my instruction, I said, if you need clarification from me, please ask before making any inputs. This is prompting, this is instruction, and that's the power of AI. Is how much of instruction, look at that, myself and somebody can be doing the same thing, but based on the context, based on the rules, we call it guide rails. If you are familiar with the term in AI governance, they call it guide rails. Means that you are using that to guide the output. This is what I want. And one of the things it helps with that is to reduce what we call hallucination. Hallucination is when an AI begins to assume some things and begin to create things and add things that possibly are not even part of it. They also make mistakes. All right. So AI significantly improves the mechanics of research writing. I did mention that it enhances clarity and structural flow of complex ideas, perfect grammar, and ensures a consistent formal academic tone. Okay, support rigorous arguments, development, and logic coherence. All right, so it can also refine for you your output. It can help you create a raw draft and then look at it and then you create that. The golden rule is that AI is an assistant, never a replacement. It should refine and augment the presentation of your ideas, but the original intellectual contribution and core texts must remain entirely human. Please don't forget this. With the bot I told you I created, the bot does not send the presentation, does not send the report directly to the management. It comes to me. When he's done with it, I look at it, I review it to say, oh, I'm comfortable with it before it goes, so that I don't end up losing my job. So I don't just say, oh, do, and then no. I as someone that understands adoption, a few other things, is the fact that I believe that a time will come that I can automate it autonomously and said you should send it out. But I would have tried it if not nearly 100 or 200 times, and it's been correct 100% or 99% correct, or 98 or 99% correct over that span before I can build the confidence to say I'm confident enough with my bot or with my gem or with my GPT that it can automatically send mail on my, just work on it and send email on my behalf, and I'm rest assured that I won't lose my job eventually. Okay, so scaling, teaching excellence, and educator efficiency, automated feedback, some of the things that you can it can empower the educators to deliver high quality instructional skill. Automated feedback, providing immediate, highly detailed critique on student drive. One of the things you can use AI to do is to critique your work. In fact, when it gives me an idea, I tell it again, prompt it, could you please critique these ideas? Does it look achievable? What are some of the challenges involved? Why do you think this will not be possible? Critique it. When you say, oh, give me 10 business ideas that I can do in the city of Ibadan, it will give you wonderful ideas. Critique it. Let it critique its ideas. Let it tell you the pros and the cons, why this will work and why this would not work. So one of the things you can do is that you have a draft, use it, let it critique it and tell you what is wrong and what is not wrong there. It can even suggest recommendation to you, and then you can infuse the recommendation or review and implement the recommendation. Teaching assistant, handling routine syllabus and administrative queries. You can see, personalized learning, adapting materials and study aids. We already discussed this. People are using it. A lot of edutech industries are using that now. They will ask you a few questions. Based on the answers that you provide, they can produce a personalized learning methodology for you based on how many hours you have a week to commit to that learning. You will see it in some of these edutech platforms now. They are beginning to use that. Grading support. Remember, I said support. So there are things used that helps also with supporting with that also. All right. The ethics of responsible AI use. I won't go too deep because someone else will go much into the ethics, but I just want to leave you with a few things when it comes to responsible AI use. It's called things around integrity, called things around hallucinations, which I've mentioned over and over, bias and transparency. Transparency is you being transparent, about the source of it. Explicit disclosure, you want to do that. It's a new stuff. Clearly disclose the use of AI tools in your methodology. In advanced words, it's beginning to be acceptable. Mitigate bias. I mentioned about bias over and over again, and that can be mitigated by ensuring that your data is well-rounded, to make sure that your data is not limited to certain group. If you are doing a global research, for example, you can't be using papers by scientists from Africa alone and you want to get a global view. You want to check around Asia, North America, South America, Europe, and see if there are papers that have been published by people around there to get a well-grounded view concerning that subject matter. That helps you in mitigating bias. In the corporate world, what we do is to increase our testing and our test cases as much as possible so that we can mitigate bias. Rigorous verification, always cross-check AI-generated fact citations, data against original sources. You can check a few just so you are sure, and intellectual ownership. Of course, you can retain accountability for the final output as much as it is augmented. That's why I say augmented. It's still your work. You work around it. You determine the output at the end of the day also. Okay, so moving gradually so that if there's questions and all of that, the future of AI and higher education by 2030, there is a research that is saying that 32 billion, is projected institutional spending in AI education by 2030. $32 billion. That is crazy. That is the amount of spending that's it's been forecasted that will be going into education spending when it comes to AI. It shows that it's not something to joke with. It shows that it has come to stay, and it's something that you need to begin to embrace and look at what can be used for. So I expect dedicated AI research assistant. I already mentioned that for scholar, personalized AI tutors, and for every student, all right? And the normalization of AI enhanced, research discovery and fully AI generated immersive learning simulation. So that is ongoing and things that you need to note. The slide there is just to let you know that there is a huge market, there's a huge investment that is going into it, and more is going to go into it. So the AI excellence framework in practice, integrate AI into your daily scholarly workflow. So these are some of the things I've listed. One, you discover. I did mention that already. Discover. You want to know what exactly you want to do. So you deploy AI agent like Manus and others to explore vast literature landscape and advise critical research gaps. All right. So you discover. The whole idea here is that you discover, do your research, discover what exactly do you want to do or do you want to achieve. Two, you want to have an understanding, and to utilize AI like NotebookLM to explain complex concepts and summarize extensive readings for you. So it summarizes this reading, gives you a summary so that it gives you an understanding of it, and then you have a deep grasp. People are doing research that they don't even understand because it is the age of AI. People are writing papers that if you wake them up and ask them questions about the paper, or they go and present the paper, they can even fumble because they don't even understand what it's all about. That's bad. As we said, AI shouldn't replace you, but it should augment and co-create and co-research with you. Okay, three is that you want to create, use AI to overcome the blank page, drafting rough outlines and structuring initial thoughts. All right, then you refine, you partner with AI, like Claude and others to edit, improve academic tone, strengthen logical flow. You also read, give your own input, make certain correction, reprompt again if it needs to get a desired result. Verify, that's important. Apply rigorous human review. Here this is you taking your time to go through. Some people finish writing papers and all of that. NotebookLM done a good job, Manus and all of that. And then the next thing you do, you just want to publish. You don't even want to go through a paper that you want to publish for people to read. That's laziness too on its own. That's not good, right? AI has done the job now. You have co-created with it. You are not even trying to go through to see certain things that might need change, adjustment, cross-checking all fact, and asserting final critical judgment. Okay, this is important, and this is something you need to look into. Key takeaway here is that the future scholar is AI augmented. All right, the ultimate truth of this paradigm shift here is that AI is not going to replace the academics, from my own belief. However, academics who expertly orchestrate AI will significantly outperform those who do not. That is the truth. No matter your career today, even if you're a musician, you must know how to use AI. There's things like Sonar AI in this age that can even create music for you. You can use Sonar to create song, write song for people. People are using Sonar AI to become musicians, become AI musicians, let me use that word, and put their music out there and earn money from it. That's the way the world is going currently. There are AI music movie producers. People are producing full-blown AI movies these days. Full-blown AI movie. They are not paying cast. They are not renting space for location, and they are producing movies on YouTube to make money from it. So things are changing the way things are being looked at, the way things are being done before. The goal of these tools is never, the automation of thinking, as I said, shouldn't take your thinking away, but support you and help you in creating and help you to be better in the industry you are. As a lecturer, as a student, you become an A-flyer better because you can leverage on technology to go deeper and to do so much more. The true power of this technology lies entirely in the augmentation of human intelligence. Don't forget that. All right. Thank you so much. Last slide, I do have a free ebook here that I did write recently. So the link is there. It's called the 15 Essential AI Tools for Maximum Productivity and Business ROI. So it's something that you possibly want to do. I did experimentation by looking at a lot of tools in the market and then came up with some top 15, I believe, based on certain things you want to do. It doesn't cover the industry, but of course, there are tools that you can use. So feel free to download. Maybe I can add the link to the chat also. And then if Toby wants, I can share with him, maybe if he wants to send an email after this to you guys so that you can access and download it for free. I think I'll stop there. I hope you've gained value. I hope you've learned something. I hope this has helped you to just know how to use it beyond just ChatGPT and others, but seeing how to use it well, and leverage it also for academic excellence. Thank you so much for your audience. And if there is any question before I leave, I'll be more than happy to take them. Thank you.
If you know you've gotten something from this session, can we give it to Mr. Victor? Let's give him the emoji. I can see Bolo Atife, I can see Glory. Yeah. Let's give it to him. Wow, I can see Sylvia. Okay, I can see. Yeah, Charles, I can see Charles. Okay, we have people with questions. Okay, I can see B-Raf. I can see Timileyin. So, okay, now, quick one. You just unmute your mic and you just ask Mr. Victor your question. B-Raf. B-Raf, are you there? Okay, the second person, I think, similar. Okay, raise them. Let me check. Okay, Charles, do you have any question?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victor. Thank you so much for this session. I believe you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for this session. Powerful session. I really got a lot of nuggets from your session. Thank you so much. You said I want to make reference to what you said, then now ask question based on that. So you said that we should always we shouldn't conclude. We shouldn't conclude. We should not allow AI to conclude our work. Yeah. So in order to avoid that, what we want to do? What should we do? I mean, how should we do it? And then your work is really good, but I actually thought that it would be exceptional if it was like a hands-on kind of session, like where we'll be seeing your screen, where you'll be taking us to all these tools and and be showing us what to do and all those kind of things, because there are a lot of people that don't really know how to use all these tools.
Yeah, we'll
but
do with that.
But of course, I know that YouTube is there. We could go to YouTube and yeah. But so you said we should not use AI to conclude. So how do we achieve that? Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the first thing, just on you've already mentioned that you can use YouTube and all of that. The thing also is that you can't take someone all through all of this platform in a 1 hour section. If we go to NotebookLM alone, I'm sure even the 1 hour in trying to do different things will not be enough at the end of the day. All right. So definitely, if we are going to do that, we can't even do anything. So the whole idea here is to expose your mind, is to let you know what is possible. As a student, as an academia, one of the things you learn is research. So you go back to sit on it. Now you've learned about NotebookLM. I expect after this, go and search for NotebookLM, sit on it 1 hour, 2 hours, experiment with it, and then you learn. I hope that answers that part. in the other part of me saying you should not let it conclude for you, yes, that is where the place of you reviewing and verifying and co-creating with it comes. You shouldn't have the final say because it can be wrong. AI make mistakes. So this means that you need to read it, you need to go through it, you need to critique it. You can still use the same AI to critique it, tell it to critique the work for you and all of that. You will see it will, go back and forth and tell you stuff and all of that. You can even go to another AI tool like Claude or something, critique it there again, then sit down and read through. What I'm trying to say is that because of the advent of AI, it has made people in the academia also very lazy, meaning that they don't sit down to go, they want to even write an entire paper and you have used AI to be done. You don't want to go through, you don't want to check the recitation. Is it correct? You don't want to even look at the data itself that have been analyzed and look at it yourself from your point of view. Or can you even use Excel and do a bit of the analysis a bit and see if this thing is correct or not? So what I'm saying is that let it not be the final verifier. It is an augmenter. It is augmenting your work. It is a co-researcher. It's a collaborator. It shouldn't be the final one to have a say. If you approve a publication or approve an assignment that you want to submit, if there is an issue, you won't go and be telling them, I'm sorry, the research, this thing is this, because it is AI that made that mistake. It makes you look somehow dull or not professional, or I don't want to use a harsh word, as the professional that you are. All right. So what is expected of you is to go through as much as possible. Spend your time to read it, because if you don't read it, you don't digest it. How will you know that it makes some mistake, or how will you know that you need to make some certain corrections? You won't know. So go through. The work is being done for you. Before now, you spend months to put things together over and over. But now in 2 days, 3 days, you can put it together. If it takes you another 3 days or 4 days to go through, make correction, make comments, and then go back to review, I don't think it's that bad. But sometimes people are lazy and they don't do that. And I think it's bad. As I told you about my own work, creating a boat, it does not send it directly to the management. When it's done, it shares with me. I go through and make changes where I need to make changes. Do you get what I mean? I correct it. Oh, this thing is not right, and all of that. And before sending it, because if you are using even Claude, you will see there, they will tell you AI is liable to make mistake. Just to put that disclaimer there so that things don't happen and you lie on AI and say it's AI that you get what I mean. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Victor. The next person, I can see Gabriel. You have a question, Gabriel?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, quick one. Just take the
Good
question.
afternoon. Yeah, sorry, I came very late. I was in another workshop. By the time I finished and I came on, you have done with the thing. So thank you for actually putting this together. My first question is there a recorded version? Then the second question is, do you have any other offer, maybe a training after this? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, the session is being recorded, and a training after we are just doing this one to train. But if you want us to train you, it's something we can discuss later. That won't be an issue. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Okay. Maybe when I go through the recorded version, I will take the next step. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, Olakunle, do you have a question? Raphael, are you there? Yeah, I think Ralph and Olakunle, they don't have questions. I think that's all as regards questions. So, Mr.
My hand is raised up. You
Okay.
did not call me.
So sorry. Boluwatife, so sorry. Okay.
It's okay. Thank you, sir. Can I go on?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Victor, for the wonderful class. And thanks for the gifts too. I've gone on that page. It took me to Substack, but I'm unable to download it. It's just the image that is there. And it's telling me to subscribe. I've subscribed, but there is no download icon for me to get the ebook.
Okay, I'll have to check. Yes, it's source tech because I run a newsletter. So the book is a free gift and then it gives you that. So, but I will need to check if there is. That's surprising. I'll check. I'll check. Maybe while on the call, I can still check and I can drop it before leaving, or I can always share it with Toby. And maybe when he's sharing the recorded version, he can share the correct link. But thank you for flagging that out. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I was trying to unmute. I have question.
Okay, Olakule, you can go ahead.
Okay, actually, I really believe in this thing, and I appreciate this gathering, and I mean the organizer. So now I'm doing a master's degree program, a master's in public health, and I use AI as assistant. So what I want to now say is that, okay, our school allow when you submit an assignment or your work, discussion, or what they say is it must not be more than 30% turnitin AI detection. But when I did an assignment, because I always do a rigorous work, just like the speaker said, at the end of the day, I did not use humanizer, and Turnitin gave me 98. But my school actually accepted it, though it's against their rule. When the markers went through it, they still accepted it. Now, my question is that I actually did just exactly like the speaker said. What do we do in that case? Because I don't really believe in using humanizer too much because I'm not using AI directly as putting garbage in, garbage out. I do my research, compile, read, and do some reading. So what do we do in that situation, sir?
Well, at 90 something, that's really a lot, to be sincere. But what I did explain earlier is that one, things like NotebookLM could help in such a way that the sources you are pulling it from are actually not just web. You are limiting it also based on it's just like you're trying to write a write a research paper, and you read different papers to be able to come together to build that paper. You leverage on each on previous ones. So NotebookLM can actually help a whole lot with that, because you can limit your source not just to like in Claude that can pull anything from the source from the web, but now it pulls it based on the sources that you provided. So if you look at it, that's why I kind of reference it more here, because you guys are more in the academia industry, and so it's important that you are a bit careful and you leverage on things that can reduce that a little bit, and you can determine where it is referencing it from. I don't know if you get, like, it's not just referencing it from the web, but it's based on certain papers that possibly you've put together related to that topic. So that's where work comes in. That's where you are collaborating. You are not just telling Claude that write me a paper on the impact of population growth or so in Nigerian's economy and all of that. And then Claude, of course, we write for you, but it's like AI will bring out different things, but it's different from where you took your time to do some research online, either through Google or using Manus AI to draw a few papers, a few sources. You even go to YouTube. Possibly there are lectures that have been delivered in YouTube about subject matter, and you pull link even from YouTube. And then you have written something else, even if it's 2-3 papers that you have written personally, you also uploaded it as your source. It is going to synthesize all these particular source you have done to create your paper. It is definitely not going to be like the one where you are using Claude or ChatGPT and just trying to prompt it and tell it to just write for you and all of that. I don't know if you get that.
I guess, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So that means I should go and learn how to use that notebook more.
Yeah. I think it can be useful for you as a researcher.
Okay.
And the good thing, as I said, is that, and remember, you are giving it sources. The sources can be YouTube videos. You look for YouTube videos where somebody presented a lecture regarding that particular subject matter also. So it can bring all of those things together, and then you tell it that you should ensure that the writings comes from these sources, and it should not use just anything you can find from the web. So instruction is also important when using AI.
Thank you very much, sir. I get it.
All right.
Okay, I think that's all as regards questions. So, Mr. Victor, do you want to just say something before we end this session?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I think thanks you guys also for the questions and all of that. I would just say, and as I keep saying, is that don't just use AI as a final thing to your final verifier, and don't just use AI to just do your stuff. Let it not take your thinking away. Your thinking must be there. The correct methodologies of writing paper and doing research, we all know it before the time of AI is there. Let it still be followed. But the only thing is that you are using a tool as technology, as a leverage, as a co-researcher. Remember the topic it said leveraging AI. So you are leveraging it. It's not the only thing that you're using to achieve academic excellence, either as a writer or as a student. It's a leverage. So just use it well. Balance it, let it not replace your thinking. Use it for research. Use it for research that can bring innovation even to you, to your work, to the classroom, and all of that. And I would just say that embrace it. It's the reality of where we are. The world is embracing it. We saw what was happening in the war and how technology is being used. We heard about China, how they are trying to use that. So a lot is just going on in that space, and everybody is making use of it and accepting it. So do not be left behind, but make sure that you use it well. You use it as a co-researcher, you use it as a collaborator, and those just depend on it to do all your work. That is where you are going to run into a lot of problems, and it kills your creativity and your thinking and even your intelligence at the end of the day. So thank you so much. I'm on LinkedIn, so still name Victor Saleh. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn. I think the link I shared now should be working. So feel free, it's just a free ebook. I have a newsletter that I always write once in a while about that. If you have that, have the ebook with your email, you can always receive that also. And yeah, we can feel free to stay in touch. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm sure other ones will be, other facilitators will be coming, and you will get to learn a lot from today. Enjoy the rest of the event. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Toby, for the invite too. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you so very much, Mr. Victor. Can we give it to Mr. Victor?
Thank you.
Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him. Let him feel the love. Let him feel the love. Let him feel the love.